So let me start the session. Hello. I'm in charge of the head of startup and VC partnership. My name is Misaki Matsumoto. Thank you very much for joining me. And RUTILEA Yano-san and DATAGRID Okada-san.
NVIDIA のテクノロジーであったりとか、スタートアップの支援の取り組み、あるいはあとは今回紹介させていただいた2つの会社様から。
And from the two companies, I'm going to hear about the generative AI. Thank you very much. And today I'd like to introduce myself briefly. Nice to meet you. I went to the university in the US and basically startup and tech dial. And I was working in these companies and voice recognition, large scale language model, and I developed them as an engineer, and multimodal development was my area. And I joined NVIDIA in 2024. And I'm supporting the overseas and Japanese startup, and also supporting the partnership with the venture capital and the Japanese startups. I think you have already know about the NVIDIA, and it's quite a topic in the news. But NVIDIA is regarded as a GPU company. And however, NVIDIA, not just GPU, the software and the SDK are actually developed by NVIDIA. And NVIDIA's, most of the engineers are the software engineers. And we are using the GPU, however, the software should be optimized. So that's why we have a lot of software engineers. And we are involved with different areas, and LNA, and large language model deployment, and also the healthcare drug discovery related softwares, and also the robotics middleware, and also the autonomous driving OS. So these are all developed by the NVIDIA, and a lot of software is developed by the NVIDIA. And this is the NVIDIA. And however, the technological support we can provide, and we would like to provide that with the startups. So that is what we are doing right now. But Inception program is supporting programs of the NVIDIA. And here, through this program, basically the GPU or software discount, so these are provided to the startups, and it's a 30% discount, and amount is maybe as big as the usual vehicle. And also cloud credit is provided. Google, AWS, we have a partnership with them, and so about 50 million yen, and up to 50 million yen of cloud credit can be provided from NVIDIA to startups, and also matching with the investors, and also the marketing support. So these are provided by the NVIDIA as the Inception programs. And the two companies we have today is in the Inception program of the NVIDIA, and we are providing support to them through the program. So Yano-san, please. So, my name is Yano. Thank you very much for introduction. At our company, the Inception, we are joining an Inception program, NSTP, and we are a cloud partner, and NVIDIA resources, as they are, that even if we have a server, nothing is going to run. So for the microwave, maybe the 10th microwaves, electricity is used. So we can use it at an office, usual office, or maybe a home. So that we need a data center. It's very difficult to use a data center. So it's easier for us to use it through the cloud partner. So this is what we are doing. And this is my self-instruction. And I didn't have an opportunity to study abroad, and I'm a kind of domestic person. However, I went to Kyoto University, and also I have a doctor level of the electronic engineers. And this is the second company I started. And I'm sorry, we are providing a GPU as a service. The GPU calculation is going to be virtualized, and we can provide it and also shift to the others. And also the model development and government, and also the domestic for the enterprise, we are providing such services. And also, our company is very small. On the left-hand side, you can see this is a small shabby office. And in 2021 and 2024, and we joined a national project. And also for the 3 years, and the Okada is 260%. And our customers are these, and DATAGRID is included, and DATAGRID is using as a service. And also the Ministry of Economy's model development companies. And among 20 companies, 5 are using our company's services. And also the what is a data center inside? So this is the data centers. So this is one example of the data center, and the GPU data center, and also the CPU data center. They are kind of there are difference. And there are a lot of old data center in Japan. So I think it's a kind of interest asset. And while we are setting up a new data center, the lease in the middle, you can see the silver picture. And each one of them are the servers. And also, there is an electricity capacity. It's totally different, and it's only the 8 kilowatt designed, and it's not enough. And the GPU server, if there is a home, and there's no capacity to accommodate, so we need a data center to accommodate all of these capacities. So that is a hot topic. So this is an infrastructure layer. And we are able to ensure the SLA of 99%, and very durable for the earthquake. And also the internet connection, 100 gigabits per second. And also intermodal connection is 3,200 gigabits. And the cloud models and also the AI engineers can use that. So that is all from my side. Thank you. So I'd like to introduce the DATAGRID. So from our side, in 2017, we founded. So this is the AI company. And as Matsumoto-san mentioned, LLM, it's the chat GPT, and in the generative AI area, it's a hot topic. And separate from that, we are working on the different areas, not just on the languages, but the images and the videos. The generative AIs enter into that area, so it's the generative AI for the videos and the images that we're focusing on at the time of the foundation, and where we can utilize the generative AI in the image and video areas. And we have been working on different areas, and easy to understand area is on the left top is AI model generations. So e-commerce website, the images. So someone that did the shooting and used the pictures. However, it's virtualized right now, so you don't have to, take pictures of the models, and generative AI can generate the AI models.
So you can say that we create contents, and that's where we use our technology. So I'm going to show you some examples as well. Right top, This is a river, picture of river. And, what we are doing, taking a photograph of river, when the treacherous rain downpour happened, this checker AI will let us know, and then start alarm. So when we try to do that, basically we need lots of images to teach AI. So for instance, the small river, like a second grade, when it goes up and up, water level, we have to collect enormous amount of data with label. So these images, videos, you can use our technologies like a simulator. So even if it did not happen, but we can recreate the situation like, flooding of the river, etc. So sometimes we are doing this to save lives, and sometimes we help AI to teach. That's another way to use our technologies. So that was a content creation. Other things we can do is a huge problem we face. Fake images or fake information, or deep fake, and wrong information. So it is important to detect fake and to guarantee what's real. It costs money, of course. So don't get me wrong, but we are able to create fake as well as detecting them. So that's what we do. Okay, I'm going to skip some pages. So this is our product, one of them. That's a teaching tool. And that detects the defects in terms of production, manufacturing. Sometimes you have to check external appearances, and the image of defect to be used to teach AI. The thing is, defects does not happen too often, fortunately. So these energy data, we have to create those defects images as a simulator so that AI can learn from these pictures, photographs. So this is us then. Thank you. Okay. So I have many questions today. So Yano-san, can I ask you? So to build the data center, startup and building data center, it's rare. So I ask you straight away, why did you do that? Why did you build data center? Well, that could be used as a leverage in terms of finance. So up until now, we are working for revitalization. So Japanese government was, providing some support if that is part of revitalization. So if half of the equity, 50%, and 50% from government, that is a win-win. So you selected Fukushima. It's kind of rare location, don't you think? So do you need a slide? No, I'm fine. Why you asked? Well, GPU server is being used quite widely, and sometimes budget will reach 200 million to use GUP. So that's why I decided to, why not buy them? However, buying them is okay, but we didn't have space to locate them. So that led me to think about, okay, what if we created this data center to ourselves for our own? And at 10%? So then we decided to build the data center, but where? So now this revitalization funding or subsidy government can provide. And to say that there's not too many maintenance tasks or maintenance budget included for the data center, I realize. So we thought, okay, well, bigware is fine. So in terms of GPU, Okuma is Big Bear, so that's why you picked the location Okuma in prefecture. That means Big Bear, so that's why you named your data center Big Bear. Interesting. Well, we don't have to be shy about using GPU anymore. And when you always worry about resources, and when using GPU or developing something, it's not fun. But now we don't have to do that. Yes. So yeah, if we are worried about the resources to be used or to be available for us, we cannot exist as a company, right? I agree with you. So the cloud server, we can borrow that. However, the price is maybe 3 times bigger than that. So that means a lot. So sometimes we joined the program provided by MITI, Ministry of Economy. Okay, thank you. So creative program, is it for GTU and MRS only? Yes, at the moment, yes, but we are expanding. So NCT was not there, but now you do NCT. Yes, you can expect that, the expansion. And Matsumoto-san? So do you know the duration to recover for the investment RIO of AWS? 6 months for GPU, but AWS is much shorter. So storage server is the highest or fastest ROI. So you mean when after you built the data center, you already recovered your investments? Yes, in a way, yeah. So what was the hardest challenge when you are building a data center? Network? Yes, it's quite difficult. So we don't have people experienced, so it's like a DIY. So it is all of us together, get together and did DIY. So that was the hardest part. So trial and error helped you, yes. But then for that experience, you were able to accumulate knowledge. Yes, you can say that. So NVIDIA GPU server? So now electricity power companies are joining your program, right? Because they after large profits. It's not hardware, then it's software then. Yes, you're quite right. So you have to know about software. Otherwise, hardware is just a chunk of metal, right? Yes. You can get hardware, but you have to begin from software. You have to know about software, and then AWS, GPU. It's easier to use because there's layout already set out. So it is hard, but that gives you opportunity. Thank you. But now, coming back to DATAGRID, but we want to ask Yano-san more.
So the RUTILEA, Yano-san's company, is focused on the model development, but there you enter into the infrastructure layer. And on a global basis, AWS. So I think maybe the origin is similar, but Japanese AI players like RUTILEA, a company which is similar to the RUTILEA, it's this NAM. So why? I cannot answer your question because I can answer the reasons why we started established a data center, but I cannot say the reasons why no one enter into this area. I think it's maybe the timing. We are very lucky because when we prepared, and the external environment was actually formulated. I think and from now on, it's too late. Yes, I think the other companies also enter into this area. So the data center is supported by the national government. So that's why the other competitors are trying to enter into this market. So the establishment of the data center is very difficult. And it's very difficult because of the extracting the electricity or the powers. So there's no, power blackout, but it's very difficult from the power generation areas. It's through the substations, and a substation's capacity is decided, and there is a power transmission limitation by each substation. So when we extract the power, the substation's capacity is also very important. So when we look at the financial extraction, the TIPCO and the KEPCO's power grid, there are some companies. So they are looking at that. So it's a kind of a bottleneck. And the asset management are persons who I know. So 2028 data centers construction plan. So it's very difficult to pull the power, and there are a lot of hurdles existed. I think for the startup, it's very difficult to start that business. And for example, the startups, there are some options. I think lending using the cloud service. And next is the purchasing the on-premise and set up the data center, and also the utilizing the data center as their own business. So there are 4 steps. And for our companies like us, so we are using the using the generative AI for the calculation. And if we own our own data center, and of course we are using your company's service, but if we have our own data center, and to try to do the same as Yano-san did, so it may be very interesting. So the pricing we are providing, so return on investment is 2 to 3 years. So the GPU server, so that is the 5 years as an asset. So depreciation period, we don't think it's so. There are model change. So the 2 to 3 years of depreciation period, maybe same as the iPhone. So there's no significant progress for the iPhone. However, the GPU and it's a significant progress for 2 to 3 years. So even if you purchase or establish a data center, when we think about the period for the return, it's not. So maybe the cloud service and also the doing the model should be separated, I think. So that is the optimal model. So that's my understanding. And also you need to borrow the rent data center service. And on a monthly basis, 2 million yen. And for the data center price, and maybe it's a cost of, it's maybe 50%, and maybe the 800,000 yen plus depreciation of the GPU. So I don't think it's necessary to do that. So it's better to use the cloud service. So that is the value and reasons for existence of the data center. So if you'd like to enter into the data center business, please contact me. Yes. So I think you are thinking about having your own data center and utilizing the generative AI. You are doing a lot of development, and within the DATAGRID, which areas you are focusing on, or so there are some areas we are focusing on, and as I mentioned, right now the AI activities for the large major companies, it's accelerating, including the generative AI. So at that timing, so the data issue is significant. So before entering into that area, the major companies actually don't understand the importance of the data, and only the data issue takes them 1 or 2 years. So the importance and the significance of the data, they actually feel that. And also the many of the companies would like to tackle that data issues. So the visual inspections example is just one example, and we are developing the systems for the visual inspection, and we are focusing on the generative AI technologies. But next important area is going to be, as Matsumoto-san mentioned, NVIDIA is not a hardware company, but Omniverse, the 3D or physical calculation platform. So there is a platform that NVIDIA is providing, and we are using the digital, creating a digital twin. So if we are able to realize that, the data we can only get from the real world. Maybe it's going to take a lot of time and effort, and the cost. But if we are able to do the simulation on a virtual basis for a shorter period and a high precision, we are able to get that data. So if we enter into such area, the AI's utilization is going to accelerate it. So there are some of the companies who take on challenge for the AI development, and they actually really feel the data is very important. So that's why they contact us. So the generative AI simulators, we are going to focus on for the future, and combination with the digital twin and the 3D and physical calculation, the simulation, data generation environment is going to be very important. So, and you are getting a lot of inquiries, right? Yes. For the plant automations related inquiries, we got a lot. And so factory automation need, FA equipment, and also it's a very strong in Japan's industry. So that's why we got the inquiries from these companies for the past 3 months. So this is a kind of a niche. So VLM, Vision Language Model, the LLM, the text-based, the language-based, and the generative AI technologies, and we are putting the eyes on that. So the image and the video information can be taken into the these data. So this is a hot topic. So the plant operators, the people from the workshop is actually trying to do that. So the importance of the data is increasing. Yes, VLM. And I have frequently heard of, and I think it matches with the robotics as robots. So that's why I hear a lot about that. So I think time is, limited. So, and I'd like to move on to the last question to you guys. And your we introduced your companies, and for the future, where the generative AI can be utilized and also the taken root. So, which area? So, I'd like to ask Yano-san first, please.
Well, it has to be settled down, AI. Otherwise, it does not have any points. I think where AI can be used as a social infrastructure, for instance, well, if we can create data, then accuracy to recognize face should be there. Yes. So this is one thing we can think about the use of generative AI, and something to support your decision making. So, for instance, Okada-san was talking about omnibus. Omnibus is something quite similar to generative AI. Generative AI is a collective term to make data. Then you have to assumption and then randomly provide this information. So the distribution has to be there, and then you have to create the virtual reality. So omnibus and generative AI, I think it's quite similar. So you have to come up with many patterns. Then that will help you to make up your mind. I think communication between human is where the generative AI can be most useful. So, for instance, as a language, French. I try to study French, but I don't remember anything anymore. Well, anyway, so the communication, human communication, that is quite the area generative AI can be helpful. It's not the productivity. If that's productivity that you want to sell, then generative AI would not work. Well, something only AI can do. And then that would somehow lead to implementation of AI in the real society. Well, apart from language, can you think of anything, something? Difficult, isn't it? Time. So you do avatar, and you use that in entertainment. So we are all human, and we only have 24 hours a day. And something you can do without thinking, like, information exchange or something. So let avatar talk to each other, my avatar and your avatar. So that we can save time. So if you have technology, then with the help of technology, I think you can secure 28 hours in a day or something. Also, energy trading, that's the area I think generative AI can be useful. We are planning to put generative AI in energy trading. We start from calculation infra and then investments. So it will go deeper, right? Yes. When you think about IPO, perhaps only software has a limitation. So we have to have counterparts. And after lots of companies invested already, then we don't have to do too much calculation anymore because we know. But still, generative AI can be supportive in that field. How about Okada-san? What do you think? Where generative AI, what's the place for them? I think as software for B2B, there are some places for them. But on the other hand, B2C, for general society, I think they will have more needs of generative AI. So what we are doing, I briefly touched upon what we are doing. There's AI, and the major problem is fake info. If you go check X, and then sometimes you just, you can't believe your eyes, and then what to believe. So there's a process called fact check. You can check one thing that is uploaded on X, then you have to find the basis. And if this basis supports this, the things that this person is saying on X, that's the fact check. I think computer AI can do this. Maybe next spring. Sometimes you are checking X, and you can't believe the comments or contents you find on the X. Maybe by next spring, this fact check AI can help you to identify this is true or not. The funny thing about fact check AI, so what you want to determine is this is fake information given by human, but AI might be making this up. So AI can lie, people can lie. But there's some system to identify this is false or truth. I think that's something of the quite important element. Maybe this is more necessary than in a transition period. Yes. So generative AI is growing and growing, and security as well as fact check is quite important. And I see some risks involved in the fake news. But and I cannot deny I have ping of anxiety why nobody is doing the fact check. So it's quite important to facilitate the environment. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your talk. We still have some time left. Right, okay. Well, I have to wrap up the conversation now. And some time for QA. If you have any question, audience, do you want to ask a question for them? Okay. I can hear you. Thank you for your chat. So I have a question for both of you. Well, three of you. NVIDIA, you provide the hardware as well as software and the infrastructure. So the progress of software, how do you see and how this will help the transformation of IT in the globe? So infrastructure has to catch up with the development of software or AI. So I think 3 layers. So how do you see those 3 layers? Go on. What GPU server that's available in this society at the moment, I think it's quite easily can 2-step forward AI, generative AI to create generative AI, which is 2 steps forward from what we are. I think it's quite possible. I don't think all of us and as a company who is trying to do the generative AI, even if they put together calculation capability is enough for current generative AI to create new society. But sometimes I think AI, the current AI is still stupid. It's not smart enough. So, but sometimes, human being can beat up AI in terms of coming up brilliant context. So that's why I still think human is better than AI, but in future, maybe this is not the case. So AI is still baby state at the moment, but at some point, at some point they will become so smart. And then the distribution issue, and that gives us an idea that AI is not good enough. So will be those information can be and generative AI technology can be dispatched to everywhere. So basically, what I am saying is, well, this technology can be available to anyone, and so that Okada-san's company, like DATAGRID, can benefit. So who has to be involved in the innovation, starting the innovation, not the company who has large capacity of GPU. Then infrastructure and chip maker can join. That's the order, I think.
So I cannot, answer more than he did. And I think, AI should be generated by AI. So that is the future state, and that's going to accelerate the progress. So I think maybe the mathematics, that may be good. So if there is an answer, AI is very strong. So when I was in junior high school, and I practiced shogi, and I memorized all of the things. And there is a lose and a win, and I couldn't win with the software of shogi. So, but maybe there are some documentations. So if the we ask the ChatGPT to create the two channels like text, they are very good at it. So there's no, fractions to, decide on which is the right, good or not. So maybe if there are some answers, they're able to, progress on their own. So like the chess and also the ego and the shogi, there is a, lose and a win, and also maybe the programming, and we can decide, it can decide on whether they can execute or not. And also the mathematics, if the AI can learn and all of the mathematics, they are able to do that. And also the monitoring data is answer for the data for the monitoring, and they may be able to create a model or the simulations. However, it's not a general use case. So maybe we expect to get more use case for the general purpose. And that's good. So thank you very much for your question. Thank you very much for your time.